President Obama's economic team has a bold new proposal, and boy, I'll tell you what, man, these guys, they're running a campaign on, you know, the whole idea of the 99%, we're for the middle class, and we've had it with these corporations and rich people taking advantage of us, so their new proposal is to lower the corporate tax rate. Okay, current tax rate is 35%. You always hear the propaganda in the news about, oh, it's one of the highest rates in the world, you know, it's second to Japan only, so high, so high. Now, what they don't tell you, and in its reporting of this story, the New York Times that broke this story did not tell you, that the effective tax rate in this country for corporations is actually 12.1%. They don't pay 35%. Effective tax rate means the taxes they actually pay, 12.1%. Okay, so, and that is, of course, one of the lowest in the world. So they're like, oh, yeah, technically we pay such a high rate. Oh, you are twisting our arm. Okay, companies like GE make billions in profits, pay zero taxes. It's insanity. So now, to be fair to the Obama administration, they say, oh, well, I know that. That's why we want to take away the loopholes and then lower the rates so that in the end it doesn't affect our deficit at all. Well, I have 2 points about that. Number one, don't we want to affect the deficit? I thought the Republicans and the Democrats were also concerned about lowering the deficit. But when it comes to lowering taxes for the rich, all of a sudden you don't care about the deficit. You're saying, at best, this will be deficit neutral. It will not help it in any way, shape, or form. But in reality, that is not what it does. In fact, in the story the New York Times broke, you have to go to, and I counted, the 18th paragraph to finally hear the but it turns out the Joint Committee on Taxation, which is nonpartisan, looked into it and said, if you took away every loophole there is, and you brought the tax rate down to 28%, it would still not be deficit neutral. You would add to the deficit. It would hurt our budget. So how is it going to be deficit neutral? It's not going to be. They're lying to you. It's a trick to lower corporate taxes again. Okay, but we're not done yet. President Obama says, hey, you know what? If you're in manufacturing, I'm going to knock it down all the way to 25%. Now, what qualifies as manufacturing? Who knows? So you think every company in the world is going to all of a sudden be like, oh yeah, what are you talking about? I produced a widget the other day. I'm such a manufacturer. Give me the lower rate. Then, more importantly, you think they're taking the loopholes away? They're not taking the loopholes away. The two largest loopholes are for accelerated depreciation. That's how they deal with their equipment, et cetera, and how they account for that in the taxes. And number two is for research and development. And so you can make an argument for those tax incentives, as they would say, right? But they're incredibly popular, and they have no intention of taking them away. In fact, in paragraph 20 of the story, here's what the New York Times says, quote, not only are those two provisions unlikely to be repealed, the Obama administration and both parties in Congress support making the research credit permanent. But wait a minute, I thought you were going to take away the loopholes. I thought that was a trade. No. Some of the loopholes we're going to make permanent. And we're going to lower the tax rate anyway. And by the way, will they be able to take away some loopholes? Sure, they'll do a fig leaf if this ever goes through, right? And then what'll happen 2 years or 5 years later? They'll reinsert the loopholes. But this proposal, in my opinion, is so bad that they're not even really trying. They're like, well, one of the largest loopholes, we're not only not going to take it away, we're going to say that it stays forever. And the other one, the second one, we'll probably stay that one too. And even if you took away the loopholes, it still would add to our deficit. Well, what happened? I thought you wanted to balance the budget. No. I want to balance the budget off the backs of the middle class and the poor. I don't want to hurt the corporations. No, of course not. By the way, also one of the lowest rates ever in our history is where we are in terms of the percentage of our GDP, which is corporate taxes. So the corporate sector is right now chipping in 1.3% of GDP in taxes. That's record low. On average, over the last several decades, and again, not when we were really killing them on taxes, just middle of the road at best, it was at 2% of GDP. So that number has gone down dramatically. And I've shown you charts on the show before. In the 1950s, corporations are paying somewhere near 30% of the entire tax burden in the US. Now they're down to like 6%. And guess who has to pay a higher share of the tax burden? You guessed it, us. Payroll tax gone up as a percentage of taxes paid overall. Sales tax has gone up. Who pays the payroll tax and the sales tax? You and I do. It's a huge portion of our income. And so corporations have been whittling away at taxes. Now, President Obama's proposal would help them whittle away a little further. And if you're still, in shock, let me add one more. I guess let's add an awe to your shock. It turns out the guy inside the Obama administration, which has been pushing for this proposal for the last 2 years, is, anybody want to take a guess? Internally, who in the Obama administration has been pushing for lower corporate taxes all along? ¿Quién es más macho?
Can I guess Tim Geithner?
I was going to say Tim Geithner. Fuck.
How did you guys know? How did you know? Well, it turns out it's Tim Geithner. Well, how do you do? Oh, I didn't see that coming.